What up, people? It's your boy CJ, and I am back, as you can see, with my boy D Mart, and we're here to talk about social media. Change it like see social media news that's going to change the world. Literally, Meta is potentially going to be charging us for access on Instagram and Facebook. Can you believe that, David? Like, this is crazy. I know it's been a minute since we did this, bro. Before you even tell me how you're doing, tell me what you think about this. Does that sound crazy to you? Meta's trying to charge us for Instagram and Facebook access?
I mean, I'd say it seems crazy, CJ, but you've been saying it. And you put us on that game. And you said nothing's free in this social media game. So I guess it was just a matter of time at that point.
Facts. Well, yes, so we're gonna get right into it here, right up the top. I know you guys are probably like, if you've never tuned in, you probably like, what the hell is this? We'll tell you who we are in a second. But real quick, this is because of the headline. Everybody's like, well, you may be here because of the headline, and that is Meta is considering paid versions of Instagram and Facebook. And for you, this is for users in Europe. And you'd be like, well, what do you mean? Like, what? And by the way, David already said, I've been putting y'all on game for a minute. I've been telling you, just remember who told you first. I said it a long time ago. Social media will not always be free. And so what does that mean? So why is this happening? Here's how it starts. Let me tell you what the news is, and here's how it all starts. This is why it's going to be a long-term play, and before we all end up having to pay for social media, right? So basically, Meta is having a hard time with regulators and people in the government and everything right now. In the UK, they're having trouble with a lot of different practices when it comes to ads, when it comes to, regulations of what privacy agreements, advertisement around the app, right? Around Facebook, around Instagram. They're having a lot of regulation problems in Europe, right? So the easy way around that, from what Meta is saying, is, hey, let's just not fight these regulations when it comes to ads and people's privacy in Europe. Let's just make it paid app. And then that way, users who pay, we don't have to, one, we don't have to run ads to them. And two, we don't have the privacy concerns because it's literally they're signing up as a member to a paid subscription. It's a whole different ballgame, right? It's a whole different ballgame at that point. So you get why that is. It's like when you really think about it, it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. You don't have to pay for ads, for anymore. You take that problem away, and on top of that, now you're gonna have people, feeling more secure. And but at the same time, don't you think this is the beginning of social media being paid for? Doesn't it sound like it's just opening the door to that, David? What do you think when you hear that?
Yeah, man, it's a lot of pros and cons with that. It's like nobody wants to pay for it, right? That sounds tough, especially because we've had it for free forever. Like, do you remember the days where social media was like free? Like they didn't even run ads, CJ, like back in the day. That was
Yes.
nice.
Yes. And back in the day,
So
you make it sound like, it was a long time ago, but yeah.
it was kind of a long time ago. Like, think about YouTube before ads. That's had to have been like more than 10 years ago, right? Maybe
Yeah.
15 years ago,
Mhm.
which is crazy. But man, like the way you phrased it, I hate seeing like jank ads that are like trying to scam people, because people do fall for that, and like there is like a lot of security issues. So like there's pros and cons to it, man. Like it could just clean up the space, make it a little bit better for like serious people that are trying to, use social media for good purposes and not scamming people. But yeah, once again, like having to pay for it, it's just, it's a lot of trade-offs with that. So I'm not surprised really at this point.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. And by the way, I see the people watching live. Hard Body Tie, what up? What up? If you're still in the chat, just tell us what's up. Good to see you. And so, if you guys have comments on what you're hearing as well, just put in the chat what you think. But when it comes to being paid social media, I really just think it's just the beginning, bro. And like, because what happens is once somebody, like let's say Meta gets this started and it goes well in the UK, and they see all this, skyrocketing revenue and stuff from charging for apps, right? What is any logical business person going to do? They're going to say, hey, well, if it works in Europe, let's try another country. And let's try another country. And let's try another country. Oh, don't worry. It's just across the pond. It's not affecting you in the US. And then eventually it affects you. Eventually, it just rolls out. And so, just think about it with Meta Verified. The people who pay for the blue checks. I know it's not super popular, like with everyone's opinion wise, and they feel like, well, what does it really do for me? What does it do for me? You got to pay to get service and get support on Meta. Well, they had record revenue of over 10, $15 million, in subscriptions in the last couple of quarters from just Meta Verified. So if they see all this extra income, they see all this extra money, they're going to be like, hey, okay, cool. Let's just keep putting more benefits and stuff behind this paywall. Then all of a sudden, let's go to Europe and let's get past these regulations by using another paywall. And then eventually everything starts to become more and more and more. And I guarantee, like, I don't want to put a date on it because you know how these people make these guesses and they'll say, hey, by the year 2025, we'll be paying for social media. But I can tell you it's going to happen. Like, it's happening. It's just slowly eking its way through.
Yeah. I thought of another like analogy or comparison with that. It's like initially when Netflix was really cracking down on password sharing, people were outraged, right? They were like canceling their Netflix left and right. Netflix saw a little dip, but then it's like started to come back up. People are starting to get Netflix again. They miss their favorite shows. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like maybe it won't keep everybody, but it'll attract the users that are really passionate about it, which, like, yeah, you just got to weigh off those pros and cons with it too.
Yeah, it's pros and cons for sure. Now, granted, but when you think about it in the opposite end, instead of just being critical of it, would you really want to pay $14 a month and never have ads on Facebook, Instagram again? Would you enjoy that experience better?
That's a great question because, that's like with those platforms in particular, that's very tough because like I want to make the comparison to YouTube where like I've had YouTube Premium from time to time and it's nice not to have the ads, but at the same time, I think YouTube was like $17.99 or something like that. And I was like, I don't really want to pay that.
Yeah, think about like right now I have YouTube Premium and I cannot like not have it again.
Yeah. See, that's like kind of how I felt at first, but then I like let it slide and then I was like, man, these ads kind of suck. But then again, like it's not the worst thing. So it's like, it's a real trade-off. Like, it would be super nice not to have to worry about all that like random stuff interrupting your feed. But for me personally, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not gonna say like if it was like $14.99, yeah, I'd probably spend that money. If it was much more than that, I would be like, I could live with the ads. That's just me personally, and everybody's gonna be a little bit different with that. But yeah, like I'm sure one thing you mentioned earlier, they're gonna keep pouring more and more resources into the people who pay for it to make that experience better for them. I'm sure there's going to be like way more draws than just like ad free, and that's where I think people that are passionate about it, that use social media for some purpose other than just like, oh, I'm going to get my kicks scrolling. Like even people like that, but like people that use social media as a tool, people like CJ, people like me, it's definitely going to be something to look into investing into.
Yeah. I and before we go to the next topic, real quick, I totally agree on you. Like, it's something I would look into. I just don't like the fact that all these different apps, everything is just slowly becoming another fee. Like, it's like I really cut the cord from cable. Like a lot of us did for just that reason, just to kind of like get away from a big bill. But now all these smaller bills are now becoming like the big bill, right? And so. Yeah, it's not going to change with social media, and that just goes into like another thing I wanted to share. And this is kind of like one of those other things with social media. Like, everything's always changing super fast, and then you got to just keep up with it. And this is a kind of a cool thing that I'm going to share. And this is with Instagram, and I want you to get your thoughts on this, David. And that is, Instagram is add another feature now, which I think it'll be kind of a cool thing. First of all, Instagram, we already know they copy off of what everybody else is doing. You already know that. We know we know how this goes, right? They copy of TikTok, they copy for everybody. So here's the thing. So now they're gonna add Instagram, Meta is going to add ability to reply to people's comments and take that sticker, that comment, and move it into the IG stories. you can already, reply to comments and make content off of that on Instagram. You can already do that. A lot of people don't do that. And I don't know why that feature on Instagram is really not being utilized like it's like to the heavily as it is on the other channels, I should say. But to really just take a comment and reply to it and use it as content on your reel is already a thing. Now they're going to give you the ability to now take that sticker and move it into the stories to add engagement from that way. Like, what do you think about that if they do end up having that feature, David?
Oh man, that's like you said, going to do it for sure. Like copying off of everybody. That just creates so many possibilities for new ways to deliver content. Like you could do like replies like you do. I mean, like TikTok's big for that, right? Like you're making an entire video just in response to one comment. Like in the fact that you could put that on your story and draw people into kind of your ecosystem, there's definitely some utility for that. So I'm interested to see it, man. That's a good idea, especially with having it on the story like that. It'll be cool.
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool. I'm not opposed to it at all because it's just another cool way to make content on the app without having to go anywhere else. That's what I love about it. It's like it's just using what's already there. It's not no other thought process, nothing else you got to do. So anything that makes it easier for content creators, I'm all about that. And so speaking of making things easy for content creators, you've heard of X, right, David? You know what X is?
Oh yeah.
X is the formerly known Twitter, but people are still going to say Twitter probably for the next 10 years, but it is what it is. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm on X. And if I literally say that to most people, they're like, what the heck are you talking about? But X, formerly known as Twitter, is giving us, they're looking to give us an option. When Elon says it, it's pretty much done. Whenever he puts it out there, it's pretty much going to happen, right? He's basically said, he's going to add ability for us to, meaning that's us, the content creators, to get the addresses of the subscribers on our platform that opt in. So we'll be able to easily leave the platform and take the subscribers with them if we want. That's a huge thing that has not been laid out on Instagram yet. It's not been laid out on Facebook yet. Like, to be able to take as a number one thing for the content creator to take those subscribers, you have 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 2,000, 200,000 followers, whatever. And that's the biggest thing. What if I always say, what if your page gets shut down today? What if your page gets shut down tomorrow? Like, what's going to happen? You don't have their email address. You don't have their phone number. Well, this would be a huge way to solve that if the platforms are starting to, lean into having people opt in for this. Now, everybody's not going to automatically be opted in. They'll have the choice. But the fact that they even do have a choice, your biggest subscribers would have that option. So I'm hoping that this catches on with X and goes very, very well. And then because if it goes very, very well and it starts leaning content creators into it and then numbers go up and people see, results to all a data-driven results business, we should see the other platforms, hopefully take some of that and bring it over as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. Like, I'm interested to see what his rationale is with doing that is because, typically these platforms, they want to keep eyes on their platform. They don't want people to be going other places. But this is an extremely valuable tool for content creators and people that are using the platforms because, man, ever since day one, you and Side Hustle have been preaching the importance of an email list. You think about all the most successful companies out there, they're heavily investing dollars into their email marketing campaigns. And like, honestly, I've been suckered into buying from email marketing campaigns before because it's just a very effective way to get people in and get people buying or get people interested in what you're doing. It doesn't have to be just sales. So yeah, this will be really cool to see.
Yeah, I think it'd be super, super important as a way. Like, this is like, when I say important, I mean like a game changer for the industry because especially us as creators, because it's one of those things that's the missing piece when it comes to like the longevity of it and the importance of it. Like, when I would say, like, when you think about, click the link in the bio, go here, go there. We're always directing people all these places just to hook them in so we can get them long term. But if they can give us this platform or give us the opportunity to do it easier, that's going to be super, super game changing. And honestly, the platforms that lean into it first will be the ones that win ultimately. I think like the next wave, because there's always waves, right? There's the our initial wave of a new platform when people were excited. Then there's the new platforms that change and like the game a little bit, like Clubhouse did. And then there's the wave, like, oh my God, I gotta be on Clubhouse. Then there's like, oh well, I can't get on this app. It's only invite only. I want to go on Clubhouse. Oh man, this place over here, they're starting to pay creators, and it's really super fun. Let me go to TikTok. Then it's like, oh, YouTube is where it's at. Boom, boom, I'm going to YouTube. But now you introduce, well, hey, guess what? We're not only going to give you the platform to get in front of all these millions of people's unlimited for free, but now you can take their email addresses, that contact data with them as well. Like, you lean into that, you got something. You really do got something. And so I know we wanted to talk about a couple of things. We wanted to talk about social media. We wanted the updates, the latest on that. A little bit of content creation if we had any questions on it. But really, one thing I definitely wanted to share, because we're all still going to talk about fitness, because you already know that's where the lane we live as fitness content creators. Have you seen, David? I don't know. Have you seen the post that I have been putting out about Fusion Gyms? Have you? First of all, tell me, do you even know what the Fusion Gyms are? Do you even know what that is?
Oh yeah, yep. Being from living in the East Coast at one point, I heard about it. Never been, but it's essentially like a mecca for fitness, for people that are passionate about fitness. It's literally got everything. As you can see in this picture right here, well-equipped weight room. It's got the basketball hoops. It's got like a very aesthetically put together just vibe, and so it's great for not only people that wanting to just have like a kind of maybe more elevated experience than your typical commercial gym, but also content creators and people that are looking. I mean, it almost gives me like a little bit of like a social club vibe too. Like, it's not just a gym, but one-stop shop for all kinds of different things. So I'm definitely interested to hear about your experiences, man. It's kind of been like a talk of the industry lately.
Wow, yeah, it's definitely all of those things, and we're showing clips right now of one of the first locations, right? So there's 3 locations, 2 of them currently open. The third one is opening later this year, all in the local Philadelphia area. The one
CJ,
that go ahead.
You went to the Fairless Hills one, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so that's like 15 minutes away from where I lived. I didn't even know they had one up at Fairless Hills. That's
what?
Pretty dope. Yeah. So like, especially as we were talking about other opportunities, I'm gonna be there.
Wait a second. You used to live 15 minutes from there?
Yeah, I lived like right outside of Trenton, and Trenton is right across the border from Fairless Hills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a gym in Fairless Hills when the P word, the C word.
I mean, what? Wait a second. We gotta go. You can't say that on YouTube or something. Like, what's the deal?
I think honestly, we might have to edit it out, CJ, because they be hating out there on YouTube, man. They don't like us talking about it.
Oh my God. Okay, but anyway, you used to live 15 minutes from where this gym actually is located.
Yeah. So that's cool that they got something like that in the area.
So in general, before I show you guys the video real quick, actually I'm gonna show you the video. I'm gonna put it on mute in the background. So we were showing this is definitely the Fairless Hills location, and so where I did a review of, and if you guys haven't seen it, it's on my Instagram channel, Fit with CJ. And I actually posted it here on YouTube as well, so there's no reason for you not to see it. I have a longer version of this review coming out on YouTube soon. But this right now is a 4-minute clip of me doing a tour with the owner Tony. You see right here, his Instagram name is Tony's Relentless. He literally gave me, first of all, a tour. This is not even the first tour. This is like the second grand opening. Okay. So the second grand opening, it was with a huge number of influencers from all over the world, top influencers. Were invited to not celebrate the restaurant opening. As you see here, this brand new Fusion Fresh restaurant was amazing. He's showing me right now the beer garden that is literally being created. That's going to be open to the public. So there's 2 different beer gardens. There's a one on the outside of the gym that is for the public, and the restaurant is for the public. You don't even need to be a member of the gym to access either one of those. Now you're seeing the basketball courts. These are 2 full-size basketball courts that are on the outside of the gym. One is the Iverson court, one is a Jordan court, one is a LeBron court. And these courts literally, they have back area where you can just hang out and lounge. Then they just walk in, as you see a little walking on Tony's walking right now. You can walk into the second beer garden. This beer garden is a little bit more exclusive, more upscale, where they have fire pits, they have TVs on both sides, so you can hang out, watch the game. Like you said, it feels more like a social club. It's a fitness club. It is literally, it's not even just a gym. It's literally a club, right? It's literally like a place you don't want to ever leave. So even if you don't work out that day, you can just come and hang out. Like there's gonna be built in a spa, which hasn't done yet. They're gonna build in a spa. They're gonna be building a pool area. That's gonna be extension off of here. And outside of this area here, where this beer garden is, it takes you to the back of the gym where there's literally like endless outdoor equipment out there too. Like I can't even tell you all, but doesn't it just look like a playground for people who are into fitness?
Yeah, man, that's nuts. Like it's kind of like what Alpha Elite did, but like a different spin on it with some other highlights as well. Or
Yeah,
Alpha Land, whatever that gym is called.
So yeah, and so I've been to Alpha Land as well. And the thing is, that is primarily, I feel like most of that is built on the outside. Like even though there are two different buildings, they're really built on the fact that you can go outside. Like this place is just so much more like it's 125,000 square feet. It's insane. Like, and it's not even done. Like, you see all that grass area in the back? There's more space for them to buy and do stuff. It's like insane. And the inside, I didn't even show some of the inside. Like, you see some clips now, but there's endless rows and rows and rows of equipment. And I can never know. You can have over 1,000 people here and feel like it's not enough. I mean, you feel like there's nobody there. You know what I mean? It's that big, bro. It's literally that big. And when you think about gyms like this, you would think like, oh my God, the price point is super crazy. It's gonna be something I can afford, but it's $69. Like it's $69 right now. And I don't know by the time you watch this, right now we're recording this September 5th, 2023, just for the record. By the time you watch this, you'll be like, well, oh, he said it was $69. Like that's what it is right now. So if you can get in there and grandfather that thing in, that's what I would do. That's what I do. By the way, how about that ending? Did you see that shot? Did you see that shot?
That was perfect.
Oh, I know. It was all money. But then look at the content. Let's talk about the content. Like, let's look at how I put the share button in to remind people, and then at the very end I put a little. What is that? What game is that from?
Oh, hold up. Is this from Sega Genesis? Is something on the Sega Genesis? What is this? Is this Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat said continue like that. Wouldn't it say something else? Just countdown. You feel like Street Fighter? What are you feeling this from?
Wait, what?
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. I knew it was a fighting game. I should have known.
Boom.
I should have known.
And then boom, it loops back to the beginning and it plays over. So it's like one of those little hooks that I just thought was fun to like, even if it just holds you there for 2 seconds so it loops back around. So it count down because you just want to see what the countdown. You're looking for 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. And when it gets to 5, it starts over. It's like boom. So, but yeah, it was super cool to be invited to this. Like I definitely talked to the team and let them know that, hey, I was thinking about coming. I was gonna try to book a flight. Yeah, we love to have you. Boom, boom, boom. We love to have you. So I definitely wanted to show love, regardless, because when I tell you that these guys are super, super welcoming. The first time I visited there over a month ago, rolled out the red carpet for your boy like nobody ever has. Super, super nice. And so looking forward to doing some stuff there in the future. It's going to be super fun. Like what they're building is special, and me being who I am in the industry, just wanted to be able to report that, share that for not just fitness professionals, but just people who just into travel destinations and seeing cool shit. It's just like, this is cool as hell. Like I've never if there's something bigger and better, I haven't seen it. And honestly, I don't know. Just because something's bigger doesn't even mean it's better. But in this case, I will say the quality, the professionalism of the team, like everybody's super dope and nice, super, super friendly, like super helpful. The quality of the equipment, you see, like it's not just about being big, it's about the quality of everything. And it's like this sculpts you and you're like, this is not, this is fucking like, there's marble everywhere. There's like crystals and shit in the damn ground that glow at night. Like what you see right now is cool, but then at nighttime, this whole thing glows and it's like purple. Like the rocks in between on the floor like glow. It's like, what is this place? You know, it's like this, like wow, like wow. When you like, I think Tony, and I'm not, don't quote me on this, but I think he said in one of his recent IG stories, people were asking like how much it cost and things like that, and he was just like literally, I think he said literally well over 10 to 12 million dollars, and it's not all invested yet. There's even more that's being put in. So yeah, it's if you talk about for $12 million already being put in and there's more coming, I wouldn't be surprised.
That man is like a fundraising genius. You can get the funds, bro. You get the funds.
But when you get results and you show proven, like you get the results and like you get investors, you get the backing, and you have a vision and you can lay it out and you can execute it. Shows anything is possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But bro, real quick, with that said, tell people what you have been up to, because it's been a minute since we did this, and people need to know what's been up with D-Mart, what you got cooking up, what's going on with the podcast, what we doing next.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's probably been since like last spring since we've done this. So lots of good things, both just like personal life and business life been popping off. Man, it was a great summer here in Indianapolis, being outside doing stuff with friends, whether it be like going out to play pickleball, hitting the gym, see the different things around the city. That's been awesome. Business-wise, the client's been killing it. Definitely kind of having like a second wave of applications on my coaching as well, because I've been getting some good results from the clients, and those testimonials and referrals have been popping off, man. I say that's always a go-to way to get people in the door for your coaching. So that's keeping me real busy. But yeah, in terms of the podcast, been super consistent with it. Sometimes, it ebbs and flows. Other things, you got to place your focus on other aspects of your business, of your content creation. But lately, that's been the podcast for me. So I've been very consistent, dropping episodes, getting interesting guests on, a lot of good coaches that I like admire and respect that are dropping knowledge bombs on, whether it's helping you get more fit, helping with content creation tips, helping with if people want to become a coach and they're looking to do it the right way where they can make money and be results driven for their clients. So it's been great just to connect with all these people, make progress toward my goals, and then have some fun while I'm at it. To me, that's what it's all about, CJ. I don't know what you think, but I know you've been out here doing the same thing.
No, that's what it is all about. It's all about that. And it's so funny. One of the things you were saying there, it triggered me to ask this question. It's almost like a challenge. Like, we have to sometimes, and it's like not just for you, but for me as well, because I'm definitely going to challenge myself on this YouTube thing. And that is, we have to treat things like it is the number one money maker for us before it really is. We have to treat things like, if you really love it and this is fun to you, like right what we're doing right now, this is fun. So let's say right now, if this was literally making us a lot of money, you know what I mean? Like, guess what? We would have no hesitation to keep the momentum. We would be on this thing tomorrow, the day after. Hell, we've probably been on this thing for the next 2 hours, right? But we have to treat it like it's making us the number one, like that's our number one money maker now. So it's the same thing as, with the podcast. Like if the podcast was making you $100,000 a year, you would be super consistent with it. But without it making you that much money, you're still doing it. So you got to do that. Like before it makes you the money, you got to put in the same effort as if it was.
I never heard you say that before, CJ. That's a great way to put it, though. I like that. Yeah, and it's just like it gets discouraging from time to time, but you gotta keep that vision in mind and just have fun with it. Like sometimes we talk in FAU about like sometimes you'll make a post and you have like high expectations and it doesn't necessarily pop off, but it's like that doesn't mean you should quit. It doesn't mean you should get all discouraged. You just got to keep on being creative with the way that you want to deliver your value to the people and ways to bring people in the door. And yeah, man, like that's a great way to think about it. I'm gonna have to keep that in the forefront of my mind, not the back of my mind even.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Keep that gem there. And that's one of those things, man. It's just, like I said, even for me, I'm gonna hold myself to, like, I literally said, well, what if this was really making that much money right now? Would I really be hesitant to do it? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. So, you gotta be like, and then also you also prove to yourself, like, hey, I can do this, and I can do it at a high level to keep that money coming. Because it's one thing to have something make money for you, but can you sustain it? Well, how do you even know if you don't put in the same effort? So that's where I look at it. And so with that, Jim, I'm gonna probably bring it to FOU this week. You like that one? I like that one, right?
I like it. I like it. Yep. We'll be talking about it tomorrow.
Bet. So with that said, anything you want to plug, anything else before we get out of here? Because I think I know where I want to go on the next episode with you. I know I want to talk to you about some cool fitness content and things like that, because we did it before where we pull up some of our favorite fitness influencers and review some content. But before we close out, anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We made a quick little mention of FOU, but if you're trying to get all of the latest and greatest advice from experts in terms of content creation, in terms of building an online business and elevating your online platform so you can live your own dreams and achieve your goals, check out FOU. You could probably, what's the easiest place for them to check out FOU? Instagram?
Oh, yeah, definitely on Instagram. Fitness Online University is the place to go.
Yeah. I mean, I got so much value from FOU, and there's hundreds and hundreds of videos in the back office. So it's something that if you are on the edge of committing to this, it's a great tool to have. I'll say definitely just hope everybody is staying healthy, staying happy, just enjoying life while progressing towards your goals. That's been one thing that I've thought about a lot over the summer. CJ, is just like I've been putting so much pressure on myself at times. So you just gotta like enjoy life and work on and stay on that grind. And that's when the results really start happening, I think. And that can be applied with anything. Maybe it's your fitness, maybe it's your business, maybe it's your job. Just like enjoy the process and don't get too bogged down in like the stress of like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's like enjoy it, really live and be present with it. So that's what has been on my mind. That's something I think that you do really well, CJ. And that's about all I got, man.
Yeah, I definitely would say is live for the moment, stay happy, do things that make you happy. You can't focus on the negative too much. You can't get like stuck in the ebbs and flow. Like we all are human. So meaning like we're gonna have our moments, but me, I'm just one of those people that I don't stick in the moment long. Like, you just you wake up the next morning and say, I'm gonna make this a better day, I'm gonna make this better, I'm gonna move on. Like that's just kind of how I do what I do. Through like people are like, well, how, are you a machine? I'm like, I'm not a machine. I feel shit. I'm real. But it's like I gotta get to it. Like I don't know how much time is left. I could be here another 5 days, or I could be here another 50 years. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't. You don't want your last whatever to be like, oh man, I wasted time. You don't want that.
Yeah.
And so if you guys are just tuning in at the very end, just go back and watch the replay. We talked about Instagram and Facebook potentially charging for access in the future. That's going to be like bananas when you like, I already know it's going to be a thing. Instagram is bringing out a new feature where you can reply to comments on IG stories. X, formerly known as Twitter, is the first major platform anyway, that's going to allow you to collect emails from your subscribers. And then we talked about Fusion Gyms. So all these things are in this current episode. So go back and watch the replay. With that being said, make sure that if you haven't already, hit like, subscribe to the channel, do all those things. What other calls to action? Because we gotta get better at these calls to action. We gotta ask people to do. We need you to go follow D-March Training's YouTube. We need to, if you want to follow us on Instagram, Fit with CJ. Subscribe to this channel. What else we need the people to do? We're begging you at this point. We're begging you.
So one thing we were talking about today, CJ, I mean, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. CJ is so close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm building up my YouTube subscriber base. We're continuously dropping value on our audiences. So let's get CJ to that 1,000. I'm working my way up to 500. I'm super close to 500. So if you could go check out my page as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. And then definitely just like share the video some love, drop a comment, maybe ask some questions of what you want us to cover for the next video, because between CJ and me, CJ's been doing this thing. I've been keeping a keen eye, learning from CJ, bringing my own little experiences to the table too.
Never say little. Don't say little.
Right. That you taught me that too. You've been saying that. See,
Mhm.
right there, people, right there. But yeah, ring that notification bell so you can check out the next live, check out the next videos that we'll put up in the future. And beyond that, yeah, just thank you so much. I appreciate everybody checking out my stuff, my podcast, The Trainer's Scoop, on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. That's about all I got, CJ.
No, that's all I got too. And I will just say this: when we hit the 1,000 subscribers, I promise you, I will bring in some special guests. It will be a big party. You know, I got connections, D. You know, I got connections.
He always hooks it up. Always.
So I will call. Look, if we get someone, I will do a 1,000 subscriber party, and I will get some big names, and we'll just do it up. Like I'm like calling some favors. Like, yo, I normally wouldn't ask you, but I need y'all to get to that subscribe. Hit the subscribe. Let's get there. Let's get this channel going. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.